Here's exactly how you can start making more money in your dog training business this year without having to get any fancy certifications or having to break your back working extremely long hours. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Kevin here from Top Dog Advertising, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, which is how to make more money inside of your dog training business. So the reason I felt compelled to make this video today was just because I just finished up a client coaching call, and we've been making some changes with this client's business recently, and the results have been kind of insane. More specifically, what I mean by that is that this is a client who's been able to grow his business from about $20,000 consistently each month to about $50,000 to $60,000 every single month without having to add a massive team or do anything insane to grow the business. Really, the only thing that he actually did to grow the company was just raise his prices. Effectively, what we decided to do a couple of months ago is focus on quality over quantity. So he already had a lot of leads coming into the business, and he already had a lot of people who wanted to work with him. And he was already booking out his business months in advance. And what we decided to do was run a test where we just raise the prices and just see what the market will bear. So more specifically, what I mean by that is if he raised his 2-week program from $2K to $3,500, how would people respond to that? Now, at Top Dog Advertising, we're big fans of selling results-based programs for both board and trains, private lessons, really everything, day training, group classes. To me, it's way more impactful to attach a result to a price point in a program instead of attaching a specific length of time to that program and to that price point. So more specifically, what I mean by this is there's a lot of dog trainers who say, hey, I charge $100 an hour, or I charge $1,000 a week. But to me, what you really want to focus on is saying, when you do this program and you get this result, that is what is going to cost you this amount of money. So just getting back to our client here for a second, what we really decided to do a couple months ago was get closer to the $1,500 to $2,000 mark per week for every single one of his programs. Now, he's not selling it that way to his clients saying, hey, it's $1,500 or $2K a week, but he just does the math on the average amount of time a dog needs to be in with them to get the specific results they're looking for. And then he attaches the price tag per week to that program. And in a lot of cases, what this is really broken down to mean for him is it's been able to allow him to effectively double his prices. And so for the same amount of work, he's making close to double the money. Now, I just want you to take a second to think about what that would look like in your dog training business. And just to be clear, we didn't do this overnight where we said, hey, one day we're charging $1,000 and the next day we're charging $2,000 per week. This was small incremental changes, and we just tracked the progress and looked at the closing rate and were the clients happy with the programs, or were people still signing up at a very similar, if not the same exact rate. But if you think about this for your business and you thought about what your company would look like, who you could hire, how much more free time you would have, how you could benefit your clients and help them more if you didn't have to worry about making ends meet every single month, and you were able to actually focus on growing the business because you were able to focus on quality over quantity. Think about how that would impact your company. So many of us in our businesses become the biggest bottleneck. And I think what really happens is when we first get started with a company, we're just grateful to start making money and having clients. And so for a lot of dog trainers, the way that this starts is if I could charge $1,000 a week, I'd be over the moon. I wouldn't be able to even believe the amount of money I would be making in my dog training business. And so you increase your prices. Maybe you start out at $500 a week for your board and train, then you go to $800, and then you finally arrive at that magic $1,000 a week mark, and you stop increasing prices. And so to me, it's not about what we think it's worth. It's about what the market determines it's worth. It's no different than me wanting to buy a share of Apple stock for $1. It's just not worth that. It's no different than me going to the gas station saying, hey, I only want to pay $1.50 per gallon of gas. It's not worth that, right? There is a market that determined what these commodities and these services are worth. And so to me, your dog training business is absolutely no different. So there's a really great book called Go for No. I would encourage all of you guys to read that book and just listen to it and kind of like bring in that philosophy to your company. But the basic idea is so many of us feel like we're going to raise our prices and we're going to get told no. But understanding when we get told no is actually a really good thing. But getting told no is actually a really good thing, because until you hear that, you're probably leaving a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of freedom on the table. So if you're somebody at all that could resonate with this video, I hope that you take this to heart and just think about like, maybe I should test some different offers and some different pricing in my business because I know for a lot of our clients, once we start increasing prices, they feel like they get a lot of time back with their families. They're able to pay the trainers that work on their team more money, and they're able to just live a better lifestyle and honestly deliver a better result to their clients because they don't need to work with so many clients every single month just to pay the bills. So with that being said, I hope you guys got some value out of this video. I hope there's a couple things that you could take away from this that are actually helpful in your business, and I will see you guys all very soon in the next video.